Namaskara. My name is Pallavi. As we are embarking into another Sharan Navaratri, I thought I'll share my thoughts, how I see 9 days of this biggest celebration of the subcontinent. We all know that India has been a land of female worshipping, energy worshipping. It's not just now we have all these temples and all. From thousands of years in this land, expression of female is being worshipped as Prakriti, as energy, as the giver of every human wish. It's not just 51 Shakti Pitas we have in India, but from the ancient years, across the subcontinent, across Asia, these Shakti Pitas are there. There are Shakti Pitas in Pakistan. Of course, they have been destroyed now. There is Shakti Pita in Afghanistan. And if you dig deeper, there are lots of indicators that the land there was female worship. So, Navaratri, year after year, we worship Devi in all the glory for 9 days in various names and expressions that we all know. First day, we worship her as Shailaputri, second day, Brahmacharini, so on and so forth. But is this the strictest only definition of the Navaratri? Do we mean to only worship and forget all about it after the days are over? Because we have this narrative about India. If you are all familiar that India is anti-woman, our society, Hindu society, doesn't respect women, and we don't know the value of women, and women is restricted to home. But to some extent, it's true. But is that the case? If that is the case, if in India a female is restricted to something, why do we have 19 days in a year, every year, from thousands of years, dedicated to worshipping a female deity? If you take Lalita Sahasranama, it's said that it's 6,000 years ago it was written. So it's more ancient than probably Vedas. So where does that come from? If you, most of the people who are into Devi worshipping or who believe in goddess Devi, whomever, whatever name you choose to call her, in the north, in the south, in the west, in the east, we worship her with various names. Regardless of the name, when we do the Saptashati Parayana, we say that she's the one who is the energy. She's the one who is the Shakti. She is the one who is the Virya. She's the one who is the night. She's the one who is the day. And even we ascribe the hunger to a goddess, to the goddess. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Trishna Rupena Samstita. So even the hunger is to her. And the taking away of the hunger, satiating it, is also her grace. That is what is the significance, the place we have given a woman, a female form in this country. Coming back to Navratri, why have you ever thought? It's just my expression and my exploration. You can think and you are free to interpret in your own way or explore more about it. Let's do it together. I would believe in combining all our interpretations and going ahead with it. I'm sharing what I have understood. First day we worship Devi as Shailaputri. Why Shailaputri? Why not going for Samudraputri or some? We do that as well. Samudra Mathane, Samudra Vasane Devi it's what we say. But why only Shailaputri? Have you ever thought, other than this known story or the known history of Devi being the daughter of Himavanta, the king of Himalayas, have you thought There could be another meanings or other interpretations. See, when we worship Devi for 9 days, gradually it is like a woman's life cycle. If you keenly observe or try to see beyond our Puranic and our scriptural explanations, a, a woman child is, a girl child is born, Shailaputri, she's very young, a child. Later on, she becomes a student. We in ancient times, we have been calling this as brahmacharya, where you have to be very strictly, very strictly living a life of an ascetic. So this is what her life journey is. She's a child, she becomes a student, then she gets married, she becomes a mother, and then later on comes a stage where she protects, she becomes the warrior. If a woman can give birth, can create, she can also destroy. She can create, she is the Prakriti, she can finish, she can be the Vidhatri, she can end all of it. That's what, for me, Navaratri signifies. A woman's journey. It's so beautifully, so meaningfully, our ancestors have woven everything, our own life's journey is into our festivals, into our rituals. But fortunately or unfortunately, we have just kept all of this into just rituals. For example, coming back to the Shailaputri, we all know, most of us know today, most because of the internet, most of the people know that first day of Navratri is Devi's form is Shailaputri, and we go to temples, we worship, we we wear the color. That's the biggest thing. Like, that is the trend. We wear our whites without even trying to know the meaning. Why we are supposed to wear white? What is so big about white? We don't think, right? That's what, including me, most of us do. Because for us Indians, for us Hindus, worshipping is something restricted to, completely restricted to temples. We do our puja in the morning, and then we can be happily villainous. We can do whatever we want, whatever bad deeds we can do. We have restricted our gods into one puja room. That's about it. Shailaputri, we worship her as a child, 5, 6 year old child, very innocent, very pure. That's why we wear white. She's the daughter of Himalaya, and she is the daughter. She is the form of daughter. Yadevi is a putri here. But unfortunately, still, even today, even after worshipping Shailaputri, we don't think our girl child is capable. Our own daughters are capable. If a female deity is capable of being worshipped as a daughter, as a putri, why can't we do that to our own daughters? Why do we keep thinking that beti is paraya dhan hai, any which day she has to go, and she's, beti is a beti, she probably will not give you mukti. Come on, you are worshipping the goddess as a girl child. But your own girl child, you think that can't give you mukti, therefore she is a second grade citizen, right? No. When we worship Devi, she's also the embodiment of our own girl children. There is Kaumari Puja in traditional Devi worships for all the 9 days, in lots of temples, in lots of households who have been doing it. One of the day they worship today. If they can't do it today in one of the 9 days, they do this Kanika Puja. What is this puja? It's just worship one girl and forget about it? No. It is, you are worshipping Devi as an embodiment of purity, as a child who is ready to accept anything, everything the world throws at her. That's why the essence of purity is expressed in white. Shailaputri is supposed to be everybody's putri. It's your own child, your own girl child. Because as the Navratri goes further, Shailaputri evolves into various expressions. She becomes this student, she becomes this married woman, she becomes this mother, She becomes this warrior. So as every child, a girl child gets educated, should be, gets educated, gets married. She has her own life. But if time comes, if something comes in the way of protecting, nurturing, having a family life, she will take the weapon. There you see the form of Shakti. It's true for every woman. We have seen countless women, countless mothers who are born in every class and every strata of society, standing up for their own family. It's always the woman. That's why our society has given so much importance, and even to the stage of worshipping for a woman, even when all the popular beliefs and popular narratives scream different things. Our society always knew the value of a girl child who is going to be this backbone of the home, of the society, of the nation. Therefore, we celebrate the womanhood of female form. The Devi as Shailaputri is what my take is. Let's think. This is one part of it. Shailaputri is a very young, pure, not known her own abilities, about to explore goddess, right? What is the what can be the 9 days expression? We these days we do a lot of yoga, dhyana. Most of us have heard about Kundalini. There is an energy which is coiled in and the base of the backbone, and it rises up and reaches Sahasrara. So we all know, if even if we don't know the energy in the English terminology, we all know. We don't know the Sanskrit names for the chakras, which are originally from that language, originally from our ancestral thinking. But in which way we know the interpretations of the West. Root chakra, all of us know, right? Do we know how many of us know about Mooladhara? Mooladhara, as the name itself suggests, is the root. It's the origin. This is where we believe the Sukshma Kundalini Shakti will be coiled and will be residing. And Kundalini is worshipped as Devi. If you go to the Sri Chakra tradition, if you go to Tantra, everywhere it is said that Kundalini is nothing but the nascent, hidden, sleeping energy of the female deity, which is Devi. And she has to ascend, she has to rise above the root chakra and reach Sahasrara, which is Shiva. Shiva is the penultimate goal of human life. You reach Shiva is what? Shiva is Satchidananda. That's what we say. When you reach Shiva, when your awareness, not just in the physical form, not touching your head, but in the Sukshma Sharira, when your whole essence, the purpose of life reaches that stage, you reach Shiva and you don't need to come back again and again to experience whatever we are experiencing. But coming back to Navaratri and the interpretation of Shailaputri, she's also residing the first day. She's just the root chakra. She is the basic Mooladhara and sleeping. Over 9 days, you rise. You do fasting, you chant, you do your meditation, you do whatever spiritual practices which you feel comfortable. And over the 9 days, she rises and she reaches Shiva. And therefore, in lots of in Lalita Sahasranama, also it comes that there is Brahma Granthi, there is Vishnu Granthi, there is Rudra Granthi, and all these not sort of Arishit Vargas. If we want to understand Arishit Vargas, all our main cruel bad qualities, whichever qualities we have, which will harm others, all those qualities will get destroyed one by one as you reach the higher chakras. As we continue to worship Devi over 9 days, the avatars, the 10th day will be reaching. That is the Vijaya. That's you have You have taken the victory over your vasanas, over your qualities, over attachments, all these things. So that is another way of looking at the first day of Navaratri, that she is a sleeping deity or sleeping energy, which is there in all of us. And through Navaratri, through these days, we can try to rise her, awaken her. We can tell our own selves a Devi is residing in all of us. That Kundalini is not restricted to only yogis, Kundalini is not restricted to only people who are in forests, who are supposed to be meditating in Himalaya or in some caves. No, Kundalini is a part of every being, every human being, whether you're residing in India, whether you're residing in some other country. Kundalini is very much a part of all of us. So when it is a part of all of us, we also have this beautiful opportunity of awakening it, rising above this mundane human things through the deity. That's why every year after year, once you rise, really, if you raise Kundalini, it will not come back and, it will go it will not happen like that. It will be every year after year. It takes few lifetimes. It's not easy, believe me, because I have met so many people who have realized Kundalini. It's a work of lifetimes. That's why we keep getting, being born and get caught in all this. We forget the purpose of reaching the Shiva, but we just get caught, get lost in all sorts of mundane human things. Leave it. But at least 9 days, we can try to think of purer things, try to be spiritual, try to purify ourselves, and we can raise Shailaputri to Vijayadashmi. We can try to pull ourselves up in all ways. That is the meaning and probably the right interpretation of Navaratri as I see it. There are so many things which we can keep on talking about the Shailaputri's significance, because Himalaya, though it is known as Shaila, it is still nascent. We are coming back to that Kundalini. Our Devi is Shailaputri. Himalaya, as we all know, as geologists, as even Google throws up that information to you if you try to check. Uh, Himalaya used to be a sea. Sea is what? It's bed. It's rock bottom, right? Shaila is also rock. It's also the bottom. It's just down. That's how our Himalaya has sprung up. It's still the folded mountain. If you go into the geology of it, it is a mountain which has just come up. It's still rising, growing. See, the cosmic Navratri of growing and reaching somewhere is still not over. It's still happening, because as the scientists themselves give the proof that Himalaya is still growing. So the nascent energy is still coming up. That's why we see so much of turmoil. As in a human being, it happens. So much of turmoil we see through the world. Energy is still rising. It's going through all the chakras, all the cosmic bodies chakras. That's why we see, like our Arishad Vargas are thrown and cut and broken, how we ourselves go through turmoil. The world is going through a journey. It will let it happen. It's karmic. We can't do much about it except praying and purifying our own individual selves. So, with that notion, let's meet tomorrow to discuss more about Brahmacharini and my interpretation of it. And if anything, if there is so many things more, if you are ascribing to this Navratri, please do tell us. Namaskar.